Welcome, everyone, to the Drip and Geeb Podcast. I'm your host, Uncle Geeb, and with me is host Drip Media Gaming. Record this podcast live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can listen to this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can also check us out on YouTube and watch us over there on YouTube if you want to watch a podcast. And if you want to watch live streams, you can do the thing I already said we're going to do. I'm ruining the final episode of 2024 because that's what this is. This is the final episode of 2024 for us. This is officially episode 48. We didn't make the 52 this year. I'm not crying about it, though. We took a couple extra episodes off this year periodically.
We did pretty good.
We did great. I'm thrilled with 48. I mean, like if we were below 40, I'd be like, we fucked up. But 48 it's almost every single week. I would, of course, like to be better than that. But it is what it is, folks. And that does not include the extra stuff that we put out, like the bonus episodes and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're talking about actual live
proper episodes on Wednesdays.
We did pretty good.
Yeah, we did great.
Can't be mad at that. We did great.
And the you guys as well in the chat and listening at home, you guys did a great job showing up for these live streams and checking us out on YouTube afterwards. And of course, our audio feed. We did get our year in review from both Spotify podcasts, who gives us our analytics there, and. Yeah, so thank you guys. I saw and YouTube doesn't do that for us, but I could just go see our analytics for the year. But so it was a good year. I mean, we just fell short of our goal of 1,000 subs for the 2024, but literally just short. I mean, like. It's just
we still got a couple weeks, so if you're not subscribed, make sure you get subscribed.
Yes. It's really kind of out of our control. I mean, we could always do better with more consistent uploads and not missing a week or whatever. It's always back on us, right? But at the end of the day, it is kind of out of our hands because it's at the YouTube has to be able to push our show, and you can just see. For the last few months, YouTube has not really pushed us that much, and that's I blame Nintendo for that.
Yeah,
because it's really hard to talk about. Conjure up a show. Our show is really turned into not news, but the latest. It's like almost like the gossip. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's not news. You don't come to us like Spawn Wave to get the news.
That's exactly what it is. No, we're not giving you the news.
You come to us for the tea, for our thoughts of the news.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah, and like there's others, and our show is not like we could do episodes like, what is our favorite Nintendo game of all time? Drip, I really love Zelda. Well, and we're not that kind of podcast either. And if we were to post an episode like that would theoretically do better because it's more general to a wider audience. It would probably flop because that's not what our audience come to expect.
I don't think that would do good at all.
So like we're kind of it's not. I think we did fantastic this year for the cards that we were dealt. The fact that we were only 50 subs short is not a negative. I believe it is a positive.
We did great.
Like honestly,
for all you people that subscribe, thank you. For all you that aren't, you still got time. Yeah, you can still do it.
Members podcast for an entire year was super fun. Thank you all for being members. And if you want to become a member, it's an option down there. We lowered the price this year, so you get in on it at $2.99 instead of the $4.99. So that's cool. Become a member if you want. Give us a couple bucks every month. If you watch our show, it's free. We do this for free for everybody here. There's currently 50 people in the live stream. This podcast will probably get over 100 views, if not more than that. It's all free for you guys. So if you don't mind, if you want to give us a couple bucks, then it makes it not free. But then we give you even more with the free show that we already give you.
Little extra nuggets.
Yeah. So if you think that if you like what we do, it supports us. And if you can afford it, if you can't afford it, that's what this is for. It's completely free 99 to listen on YouTube or anywhere else that you listen to podcasts, and it's going to remain that way forever. Another one. So Drip. Speaking of what's free, or in this case, that's not free, the next Nintendo console. It's not going to be free.
No, it's not free.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what.
It's not going to be free.
We've had some really good segues on this show. That's not one of them.
No?
That's not one of them.
You didn't think that was my best? Not my best work?
I think that was one of your worst.
Yeah.
But
good.
It's fine.
So I want to take this episode. I'm going to take this back. We are going to take this back to the beginning of 2024, January 2024. Just think about where you were as a listener, or as a watcher of the show. Drip and I, we're sitting here the exact same spots we're at right now.
Wide-eyed. Ready for that switch to that sweet switch to news to drop.
We were convinced, Drip.
Any day. Mm-hmm. Any day. The beginning of this year, it's coming any day. Any day.
It didn't take long, though. It didn't take long.
No, it did not take long.
It was pretty quick into 2024 in January, if not early February, where we kind of started to see some reports that maybe this thing's going to be delayed. And at first, I was pushing back of it.
I was too, because I didn't want it to be true.
Right. But it did seem like it was eventually enough people started saying it that it was credible. That's the kind of thing here. I think that's a theme of all these leaks for the entire year, including the latest ones that we have. None of them are credible, but so many different sources have been saying the same thing and getting their information from sources, quote unquote, probably different ones. That's what makes these leaks so credible. At least the ones that we think are credible. Some of them are not, but the ones that we think are credible. So many different sources have been saying the same things. Same information, same renders, same designs.
Yeah. And I mean, the biggest one was they were pushing it back so they could have a good launch lineup.
Yeah.
They wanted to make sure there was games there at the launch, which, looking back at the time, I'm like, no, they got plenty of games. There's nothing coming out for the Switch. We're not even going to get any more games for the Switch, of course. And that was totally wrong. We got lots of new games for the Switch.
Yeah. Including a whole new Zelda.
Yeah, brand new 2D Zelda.
Yeah.
I mean, the remakes and ports
remember, guys,
are
2023, Drip. That was the year where it was coming out.
It was done.
And Tears of the Kingdom was the last game.
That was the last game.
You and I, at some point, were definitely convinced of that. For sure.
I was 100% convinced of that.
So, not only was 2024 it's definitely happening now because, well, it's obviously not going to be 2023 because that already ended. But now we're here in 2024 January. We're like, it has to happen. Right. It was supposed to be last year, so it's got to happen this year. And
exactly.
Enough reports of this delay to 2025. It seemed to be credible. And guess what, guys? It turned out it was true. Those leaks were true.
That one was
because
true.
Here we are at the end of 2024, not having a Switch.
Back,
So those leaks were true.
It's fun to look back and see all these leaks that we're like, oh, well, this is happening. We're like, well, I don't know. Maybe. It's very interesting to go back and see, my God, let's just think about a few months ago. A few months ago, everybody and their brother was telling you, oh, all the September stuff's been pushed. It's been brought early. That's why there's no direct, because they're announcing the Switch 2. And all of a sudden everyone's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's October. October's when they're going to do it. None of those were true. Here we are. 2 weeks left in the year. Nothing still.
Yeah, I never bought those rumors. I did. There was always a part of me that thought it could be true because that's what a good skeptic does. Leave that part to be true. The
October stuff made a lot of sense.
Yeah, it did, but I never believed it, and of course it didn't here. Now that we know for sure, hindsight's always 20/20 though. It just the fact that 2024 and I'm referring to 2024 up until Q3. So just think of basically before September, August, September. Think about all the leaks, the rumors that we had up until then. Just a wild ride of a bunch of garbage. Almost none of it.
Looking back at it,
the only thing that was true was the fact that the system wasn't coming out this year. The only one that we didn't want to believe. That was the one that ended up to be true. All the other stuff was just garbage.
Yeah, there was a lot of it too.
I can't name you specifics because I've forgotten about most of it.
Well, I think the real stuff started, like you said, Q3, when we got the bomb from MobaPad, when they just decided, you know what? Fuck it all. We're just going to put this shit out on Facebook and we're going to tell everybody everything we know about the Switch 2.
Yep.
At the time, everyone was very skeptical about what they were putting out there and if it was actually real. But if you go back and look at everything they said, all of that is what they're talking about now and what everybody is basing all these things we're seeing now off of. So that was the earliest real stuff. Yeah, concrete stuff that actually turned out to be right.
Well,
which is
we don't know for sure yet. Again, it's even the stuff that we're sure about. We still can't be actually sure about it.
True.
But yeah, it lines up. Everything is lining up, and it starts. The first line that was drawn was that MobaPad spec sheet leak.
Yeah.
And then after that was the CAD renders that came out. That were that was mainly the magnetic Joy-Con speculation from MobaPad.
And that was October, right?
And then the CAD renders
was when we were
they better
hurry up. They better do it because it's all going to drop. They're going to do it tomorrow or the next day.
Late September, October, somewhere around there, yeah. But then it's like, oh, like those Joy-Con are magnetic. The rails are different, so it must be magnetic. It kind of lines
that point,
up.
We could see.
But can we trust the CAD renders? Although we did say at the time, while we can't really trust them 100%, I think I said something like 70% sure that it's probably right.
It wasn't the CAD renders that really did it for me. It was the picture of the Joy-Con shells and the backplate and the empty chip sitting there. Like, that's what did it. Like, that's real. If somebody went out of their way to make that, but then again, we also said that it is probably real, but it might not be exactly what's about to ship. And honestly, we could still be in that situation right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a lot of people out here putting out a lot of stuff about this and that. Like, we're getting leaks about everything now. I mean, people, it's not even leaks anymore. People are just announcing their products.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, we can go into we'll touch on the Dbrand stuff in a bit.
Yeah. So, that is kind of nowish.
Okay. Well, we can go onto that.
Because
okay.
We're talking about post Q3 2024, and kind of what the next thing in my eyes that lines up that we can confirm is, like Drip just said, Dbrand confirmed the Switch 2 dimensions because they had posted on their website a case called the Kill Switch, which is like their branding. They go the Kill Switch case.
Love that name, by the way.
For the Switch 2, and people saw the Switch inside, and it was a 3D rendered image. It was a literally rendered image, computer generated. But you could see the extra C button that's down there, the extra button on the right side, and it was obviously not a regular Switch. So people are like, "What's up with this?" And Dbrand in an article, the CEO, his history for being out there. So let's say I know for a fact that they're the kind of sponsor that will sponsor anything, not because they're money hungry or advertising hungry. It's because like they don't give a fuck. Like, it's funny. Like, I can't really, the words to describe them I don't really have, but if you get my drift, if you get my drift, pun, if you understand what
I'm saying. Is that a bad Nintendo joke?
I guess so. I didn't mean it, but it kind of came out that way. If you kind of understand what I'm saying, they just kind of, they march to the beat of their own drum. Dbrand does. And this,
they do.
So when I saw that article titled "The CEO completely confirms the Switch 2's actual dimensions that he has," I believed it. Other people were like, "Whoa, that's insane!" I'm like, no, they've done other insane things before. They've done insane things before too. They literally have copied the design of the Zelda Switch.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
And sell it on their own stuff because they don't fucking care. And Nintendo can sue them, and they probably could hold their weight in a lawsuit.
It wasn't just that. They did the Zelda Switch, the not Zelda Switch. They
completely ripped off the design and weren't hiding it.
Yeah, and then another one they did. They were back and forth with Sony. Sony was mad at them because of the side plates for the PS5.
That's right, I remember that. And then Sony started selling their own right after that.
Yeah, well, that's why they were mad about it. Yeah, Dbrand still sells their own, but they just go up the side. I forget what they're called, but I don't really like the way they look. I wish they would have made the original ones. Anyway, that doesn't matter. They also did the Animal Crossing skins too.
Yep.
They just ripped that off. So, here's my question when it comes to all this. And I know there's an answer.
It's important to mention it. They're not just like assholes. They are, but that's not their goal. Is for a joke. Like,
yeah,
they're tongue in cheek, and they're successful, and they know it, and they're like, if they try to sue, we might lose, but also we can afford it. So,
yeah, I mean they're doing okay. They're doing okay. Well, here's the thing. This is the only part of all this that I'm just confused about. And I heard somebody say this today, and maybe this is true. Oh God!
Stop yawning.
Sorry. So.
Gonna make me yawn.
We've got all these people putting out these specs. They clearly have something. I mean, I guess, unless like we talked about in the pre-show, unless they're all just like, you don't tell on us, we won't tell on you. We're just gonna act like we know what this thing is.
Or just like looking at other you have the same render, you have the same dimensions we do. Okay, where'd you get yours from? I don't know. I'm not gonna ask. Let's just do our own thing here.
Oh yeah, we'll just do it. Okay, it's either that, or I heard somebody say this, and this is actually something that I think is a very interesting idea. We've already talked about this earlier in this episode, that the Switch 2 was probably supposed to already be out right now.
Yeah.
Or maybe soon.
I think we know it was supposed to, because it was damn near certain that 2023 was supposed to be the time where it was certain to come out.
So,
and it was delayed to 2024, and then it was delayed again to 2025.
And let's just say maybe sometime recently, whatever NDA that these companies had signed, the date is up. And that's why these are all coming out now, and you don't see Nintendo like saying anything about it, because they already had NDAs in place that lasted from this point to this point. At that point they thought they would have the Switch out?
Can you make an NDA that's not date based but event based? Like a release of a console?
I'm not sure.
Or when Nintendo deems that you can talk about it?
I mean, I'm sure you can, whatever language you want to put in the contract.
Don't you think that's what they would have done?
You can't talk about it until this date, and that date is a hard date, and they sign it. Once that date's gone, if Nintendo hasn't put out their product, that's on them at this point. Maybe that's why everybody can talk about this now.
It's a good theory. And like, listen, these renders and leaks and cases and accessories, none of these are getting taken off the internet.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There hasn't even been an attempt from Nintendo that I know of.
That's the weirdest part to me, because you see Nintendo coming after everybody for everything.
Gary's mod Mario likeness from 2006,
stuff like that, exactly.
And 2020 2023 gets knocked out, or whatever year it was, 2024.
But this stuff, which is clearly, well, maybe showing us a picture of a Switch 2 inside of a clear, smoke-colored case, but they're not doing anything. And I feel like there's
not
got to be something going on there.
Not only that, he confirmed it. He said, "No, this is the Switch 2. We have the dimensions. This is it. That was what you saw in that smoke case was the Switch 2." That's not me saying that. That's what he said in the interview.
Yeah,
not rendered, not actual hardware, but rendered. Like, they have the correct dimensions and the correct design. And that's kind of the cherry on top as far as these other leaks that make everything that from where we started with Mopad up until the Dbrand makes it all valid. It's all been true. Okay, not the Mopad stuff. We still don't, because we don't actually know hardware yet, like internal hardware. But we do the externally
the Mopad stuff. Yeah,
we know that it's
lined up.
We know the Switch 2 is going to be 8-inch screen, roughly, give or take some. Who knows exactly, but probably 8, which is an inch bigger than the OLED, roughly. It's just a little bit inflated. It doesn't. There's no design of the Joy-Cons. The sticks look to be relatively the same. They're about the same height, which doesn't surprise me. If not, they're a little longer. We don't know the tech inside, but that's not what we know.
That's one of the big questions I have, and that's not for this episode. We'll talk about that next year. But like, I want to know about those sticks.
Yeah,
like that's cool. If that's what this thing looks like, okay, I guess. What about the sticks? We'll talk about that another time.
The big thing is that extra button that we're calling the C button, because some of these images have the letter C written on that second button that we've been speculating all year long what that second button could be underneath of the home button. And we'll get to that in a minute. But before we do that, I'm going to talk about this Reddit leak.
Yeah. Okay. Not even dude, they're so okay. We're going to talk about the kid with the Christmas gift for all of us, supposedly. That's hilarious. I'm going to tell you something. I'll let you fill everybody in, but that is the funniest shit. If he actually does have that is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. He's basically just holding them hostage. Like, Nintendo, show it, or I'm going to.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I just think it's funny.
Oh, sorry. I was reading Power Matt's question. I was going to see when we're going to fit this in.
What's the question?
I'll read the first question here. It's 3 questions. Thanks, Power Matt. Number 1, the claim says they have a Switch 2. Who's they? Oh, the Reddit. This is the Reddit leak. Okay. We're here. The claim says they have the Switch 2 and they know it's gray. Okay, plausible. But how the hell do they know that there's a white version and a special edition with a 9 on it? I can't see Nintendo giving them all that information out to an accessory manufacturer. That's a good point, because all Nintendo would provide.
Nobody needs to know that.
All Nintendo would provide is just the CAD renders or the CAD files.
And just for everyone listening, if you're wondering where we got this question from, it's from our Discord in the podcast Q&A section. If you want to join and put your questions in there, you can do that. The link is below.
That's right. Question number 2 here. They said that they have a device, but they can't turn it on. Why can't they? Because it's not real? Great question. I don't know why they can't turn it on.
Wait, hold on. Let's go back to part 1.
Oh, okay.
Let's go back to part 1.
I thought we were done with
part
that.
1 again.
They claim they Switch 2. Okay, plausible, but how the hell do they know that there's a white version and a special edition on it?
Let's stop real quick there. I want to talk about that part of it. That's the part where it's like, okay, how? You have a Switch 2. How? In what way have you got? Because do we even know that these things are being manufactured at this point? Are they even being made yet? Like,
rumors suggest they are.
Do we have any indication of that? I mean, we know that the parts have been shipped to the places they need to be, but do we know that these are actually being assembled, put together, and put in a box at this point?
I realized that we probably should read a little bit of this Reddit leak because these questions are about assuming that you know the Reddit leak. So let's quickly go over this Reddit leak. This is not exactly what I thought it was.
Well, the Reddit leak is basically this kid saying he's got to Switch 2.
This is not. I have the wrong photo, so I don't have the Reddit leak in front of me. But yeah, I remember what it says roughly. What it says is the guy says he has a production ready, like it's off the printer. The box has been made.
He said he's got a ready to go to a shelf, full on Switch 2
in box. Okay, so complete in box. That's what he says he has. He's no pictures though, but he says he'll give us pictures on Christmas Day, 2025.
I mean,
December 25th.
You know what it is? The leaker, it's just Santa. It's Santa. So, I got a Switch 2 up here at the North Pole.
Nintendo, kiss my ass. I'm releasing it on the day of Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So he says that's what he's got. And to prove it, he gives us some details. And he words out that one of the biggest things he says is the dock is going to be shallower than the first one, like shorter.
Yeah, it's like shorter so you can see some screen.
And that that image in our thumbnail is the one that you're seeing.
Okay, but he also
that image in the thumbnail was made by somebody who took what he said and made a 3D image of it.
But supposedly he gave one of the mods of this Reddit thread, whatever the hell's going on here, gave them a picture of the dock. That's how he proved that he had it. Now, that's the funny part about this entire thing. Isn't it a little strange? Isn't it a little bit weird that this guy who claims he has a Switch 2 shows, to prove it, the one part of this system that we have not seen, that nobody has an idea of what it looks like the system itself, the Joy-Cons, we have all that, supposedly. But now this is something you could easily fake because nobody knows what it looks like. Nobody even has an idea of what it looks like. And dude, 3D printers at this point, I'm sorry, everyone's like, oh, no one's going to 3D print. Like, dude, have you seen what like resin 3D printers look like now? They come out of the machine like perfect. So anybody saying like, you can't 3D print something that good.
If you got some money, for your machines that are $100, $200, even $300, probably not. But your machines that are over $1,000 and going, you can make anything you goddamn want, and they look
great. Like they look amazing, right? Yeah, like right out of the machine. So I do find it very, very. It puts up some red flags for me that the one part of this entire thing that he puts out there is the one part of this entire thing that we haven't seen or got any information on.
Oh, well, maybe Christmas. Who knows?
Kind of convenient.
Let's say this though. Number 2 in his question again. They say they have the device, but they can't turn it on. Why can't they? My only theory on that is he's afraid. There's a fly flying around. He's touching
the internet thing, right?
He's afraid that Nintendo's going to locate the device and find him out and get him in serious trouble. If he turns it on. That's my only theory. It's a good theory, but it's my only theory.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
why else would he not be able to turn it on?
We have seen Nintendo
box,
do much crazier things. I mean, my God, they do much crazier things to find people they need to find. I mean, that would not be a wild thing for Nintendo to do whatsoever, is to if they know one's out there, turn it on. It's going to be the only one. They'll find it.
Yeah, but the thing is though, if he doesn't have to connect it to internet, once you turn it on, it's not it doesn't immediately ping Nintendo.
Right. You would have to actually connect it to your network, and I mean,
You
Probably
log
have to
into
do a
it
little
as
bit
a
more.
local device, and you just put it in airplane mode immediately, and you're done.
I mean, honestly, I don't even care if he turns it on.
Or what he should do is bring it to a buddy of his or somebody he knows, or even just a trustworthy, repair shop, and just tell them, hey, go in there and unhook that Wi-Fi chip. So there's absolutely no possibility of this thing connecting to the internet.
How about we just go out into the middle of a fucking field and we take our little phone and we film us opening it up where there's clearly no Wi-Fi around?
That too. There's a lot of things, and it's a very valid, good question, Power Mad. He's afraid that. My only theory is he's afraid he's gonna get caught.
Okay, I don't know, man. Like, okay, here we go. The doc, showing the doc, red flag number 1.
Yeah.
Red flag number 1 for me. Saying he's not going to be able to turn it on, red flag number 2.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're 2 strikes already here. Now,
question number 3 here. Even crazier that he's claiming that it'll be announced in January and released in March, which is a theory that anybody and their mother could have come up with because we came up with that months ago. And is that really plausible, especially when other people have been saying May or June release? Power Mad, here's why I'll answer first and let Drip go after. I've been saying for a while now, people have been taking their excrement from the toilet, taking it and tossing it against a lot of different flat surfaces, mainly walls that are vertical, and watching to see if gravity takes over or if it sticks. And that is what I think this is here. I think that it is
gross.
Just to see if it sticks, because it's January, March, and that one's going off really high right now, because guess what? We're only a couple weeks away from January. So of course that's the popular one to go with right now, because that's going to get you the clicks on YouTube, friends. That's going to get you the clicks on YouTube. January now.
If you haven't noticed,
and then when January ends and we don't have an announcement, I'm hearing rumblings. I'm hearing rumblings that we did this already. We've done this already, guys.
We did it in September. We did it in October.
We did it.
We've been doing this for years.
In 2023. We did this.
100%,
We did this in 2022 and 2020. Not even. We did this in 2021 with the Switch Pro. That never happened.
To answer the third part of the question, you will hear this every single month up until something is actually fucking said. You will hear every single
week.
Yes. Yeah, especially once New Year's is over. Once New Year's, all bets are off, man.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised if next week, and you, oh my God, mark my fucking words. Yeah, clip this. Next week, I bet there's a new rumor just coming out that's, New Year's Day. New Year's Day is the announcement. You watch.
Day after Christmas.
No, it won't be that.
No, I'm saying the rumors will come out the day after Christmas.
The day after Christmas, yeah. For that week, up until New Year's.
And then
after that, they're going to be like, ooh, late January. Late January is what I hear rumblings. I hear things.
My sources have been telling me.
Then they're going to be like, Valentine's Day.
Love is in the air, folks. Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. Nintendo's in love.
Can I say this, Drip? I feel like you and
all the leakers are going to change their profile pictures just to little red hearts.
Mm-hmm. I think
it's going to be like, obviously, we should have seen this. Valentine's Day. Shit.
You and I have earned the right to make fun of, number one, ourselves from the past, because we've been these people. We're not entirely attacking those people who we're making fun of right now, because we have been those people. We are so
I get it.
Drip and I are so jaded, and we haven't completely sold out like a lot of people right now to the fact that we've been wrong, and we accept it, and now we've you know that you've lived long enough to turn to be the enemy that you whatever that saying is that I can't get right now. Kind of the opposite. It's that we were the person, and we've lived long enough now to.
If you live long enough,
we've lived long enough to turn to the other side.
Become the enemy. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but turn that all upside down. We've lived long enough to turn into the good guys, and we were the enemy for a while. People were hating us like, rumors and shit. We're like, it's fun to talk about, and it's content.
And it still is fun to talk about.
And I can inform you now, in December 18th, 2024, the day of this recording, it's no longer fun anymore if it's fake. There was a lot of fake stuff that we talked about.
I'm over it.
Episode 0, okay, guys, if you go back to our podcast feed, YouTube, Apple, doesn't matter where, Back to our podcast feed. Look at episode 0. That was our basically test episode. It sucks, by the way, when you listen to it. It's gonna suck. We sucked then. That was a long time ago.
You act like we're
the first thing that we did, the first piece of content on this podcast channel is Apple making a Nintendo Switch?
That was the first one.
Yeah, episode 0. It was never gonna happen, Drip. I don't think either of us actually even believed it then. Although there was a slight chance because the M1 hardware was coming out.
Oh yeah, now they actually might be making something.
They might and they could.
Hey, well, Geeb, let me tell you, I hear rumblings. I hear rumblings. Okay.
Tim Apple is
Tim Apple's cooking something up. I'll tell you that.
You. So
I hear rumblings. By rumblings, I mean my phone vibrating and Tim Apple giving me a call.
Our roots are rooted in the fact that we like to talk about these rumors, even if they're fake.
It's fun.
But at this point, almost 5 years later, I'm exaggerating. It has been 4 years since that episode. Almost. We are tired, sick and tired, actually, of relaying. I'm tired. Relaying of the nonsense. I think this Reddit leak is 55-60% chance it's nonsense. It's not quite mostly nonsense. I think there's a good chance it could be.
Let me ask you this:
we could see something on Christmas Day.
Does he have the Switch or not? What do you think?
No, I'm going to say no.
I don't think so either. I think he's full of shit.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say December comes and passes.
And I'm sorry, if you can't turn it on, I don't believe you.
Yeah, it's
I'm going to be checking it out. I'm going to be looking on Christmas Day. And yeah, if you guys want to put it in the chat too, I'd like to know. Yes or no? Do you think this kid actually has? If it's not turned on, I don't believe it.
Leave a comment down below. Let us know.
Because
if you think,
as you've said, you've told me that there are some very believable looking Switch 2 mock-ups out there that companies are sending out to YouTubers.
I forgot to put to the notes, but yeah, we'll talk about that now. Nerd Nest. Okay, so last week we covered Switch Up, who had from I believe the same company that Nerd Nest got this week. But and
I did, just for everybody wondering, I did send them an email. I got no response, so I don't think I'll be getting one of those. But I did.
Unfortunately, that boat has sailed. But
I think it has sailed. But I tried.
So last week was Switch Ups. If you guys watched last week's pod, we talked about Switch Ups and his whatever that company's name was. I'm not going to mention. Their accessories thing. They had the screen protector. They had the case for the Switch 2, and they had a fake. They weren't trying to sell it as real. It was obviously a 3D printed or a quickly manufactured version of the Switch 2 based off the CAD renders that they made. A mock-up that they used to make the screen protector with and the case that they have, and they're trying to sell it and trying to get some publicity right now. So that was last week. It was non-functional. This week, Nerd Nest posted his video. Still non-functional, I want to mention. It's non-functional. However, not entirely. One big difference is that this new mock-up has a glass screen on it, which last week's did not. Last week's was just plastic, right? This week's it has glass on it. Breaking news, it has glass on a mock-up. Not that interesting, but it is curious that they're updating it. But this is the big thing, the big change to this mock-up. This mock-up that Nerd Nest has removable magnetic Joy-Cons.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm.
It's still very possible that all they did is stick a couple of refrigerator magnets on the inside and fully printed the full Joy-Con CAD render and put them, and bada bing bada boom magnets. That is not that interesting, but it is though, because
it is interesting.
It would have been more interesting if the magnet buttons, the release, if that would have worked and functioned. It doesn't. Yeah. It's still just a dummy model.
Well, that's another thing I do want to touch on really quick before we get into the very last thing we're going to talk about here. I watch lots of other videos, news videos, leaks, this, that. I got to keep up on my shit too, And I was watching some RGT the other day, and he seemed to have a revelation, and this was recent, that the big button, the new button on the back, was the release button.
Yeah.
Is that... we talked about that a long time. I thought that was just a thing that everybody was just already assuming that that's what that is for.
Yeah, I don't know why he's thinking that it was not obvious.
It literally takes the place of the buttons that take the Joy-Cons off. I mean, yeah, they're big, but we've talked about that too. the reason that they're big is because you're not just pressing it and holding the Joy-Cons and pulling them up. You need something to push in and grab a hold of and pull out. You're pulling them. So you have to have something to like actually get a hold of.
Right. I don't know.
I see what you're showing now, yeah.
RGT's a little, I love the guy, but sometimes he's like, what the fuck, man? Like, what do you... You've completely missed the mark on this one, RGT. Like, that was always the button release. It was always the Joy-Con release. It's the same goddamn design. That's like saying like a new system mock-up. Let's say one of the 15 Ambernic devices that's always released. Let's say that they were making another device, just like their old one. It was leaked, and in the place of the power button, there was another button, or there was still a power button. But RGT watched that video and goes, "Oh, is that still a power button? We don't know. How are we supposed to know?"
I mean, I don't think it's quite that bad.
They just redesigned the way the Joy-Con button works, and obviously, if it's magnets, it can't be the same thing. But I did hear other people saying, like early when we got the leaked CAD images, and the people were saying, because it was just the hole, you could see the shells, and it was just a hole, and they're like, "Oh, is there an extra button back there?" I'm like, right,
it's not an extra button. It's how you get the Joy-Cons off. Clearly, it takes the place of that, but the place where there is an extra button, Geeb, is on the front of the Joy-Cons. There is an extra button there, and it's got a C on it.
Oh, that was delicious. That was delicious. Do you have like a delicious sound? Like I don't know, like we should have like Hetsu with maracas.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You know, that's how you do it. That's how you do a segue.
That was a perfect.
I don't know what yours was earlier, but
the super glue fumes have gotten up into your brain, and suddenly you've become an epic.
I'm clicking, man. Yeah, I'm clicking.
Segue master, because that is exactly what we're talking about next in the show. Here is, hey Drip, you want to run a victory lap with me real quick?
Yeah. Yes, I will. We'll take a lap. I'm not actually taking a lap. Oh, he's taking a lap. All right, we'll wait for him to get back. While he's taking a lap, that C button, we don't quite know what the C button is for, but I think we've got a pretty good idea, and it's kind of narrowed down a little bit just because we know whatever it is, it starts with C. He's not done. He's seriously not done. He's seriously not done. Hey, come back! Oh, my God. Hey,
you weren't supposed to see my red pants. I was wearing red shorts.
I saw him. What? Yeah, that wasn't a lap. That was like 10.
Well, out of breath, not gonna lie.
All right. Well, as I have been telling our listeners, the button has a C on it, which narrows down what it could be. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is, probably starts with the letter C. C is for cookie.
If Fappy was here, he could say something that would be incorrect for us to say because we're Americans, but for Australians, it would be much more appropriate.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it starts with
Getting
C.
back on track here. Yes, the button is a C button. I'm out of breath, so you keep talking.
And now, let's kind of, before we jump right into it, this has been on every single render, every single manufacturer who's put something out. That C button has been there.
Well, we didn't know it was a C, but did we know it was a C on it?
Yes, we knew it was a C. We've seen a C on this button through everything.
Yeah.
The extra button. I don't think the first one showed the C.
Yeah.
But I think as we've gone on here, the C has been on there.
Did you tell the people why I did a victory lap?
Because we were right.
We were right in 2023, guys.
I think we were. I honestly think we were. At this point, with everything lining up the way it is, the C is for cast, right? That's probably what it is.
Connect, cast, whatever, what your brain wants to get it in there. We did an episode 2023 that was for members only that then got released for everybody else later. Basically saying that I had a theory for a while, and my theory was even earlier. Was even earlier than that era of that episode.
We've had discussions about this for a long time.
Yeah, pretty much when I got my Wii U and I was playing the Wii U, I realized how good the library games are and how good it works, how well it works.
And I want to go into that too. I'll let you finish your thought there.
And 2021, guys, I got a Wii U for the first time in 2021. Obviously very late to the party, but I got to play Zelda games.
You were extremely late to the party.
But I got to play Zelda games. You
got there when they were locking the doors.
It was before Minish Cap was on the Switch. It was before... it was Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are still not in the Switch. I got it in 2021 thinking, oh shit, I got to get this before they come out on the Switch. Not before, but it's like, oh man, who knows when they're coming out? So let me play them here now. Point is, I fell in love with this thing, but it sucks. It still sucks. There's so many problems with the Wii U. For how many good things there are, there's equal bad things about it. It deserved to die the death that it did.
But did it? That's actually what I want to talk about. But did it?
But then it got me thinking. I'm like, well, I mean, like, of course they would never call it the Switch 2U or the Switch U. They would never do that. That's a joke. Obviously, that's a joke.
The U2, the Switch U2. And it comes with U2's newest album already preloaded on it.
That's the joke part. But what's not the joke is the functionality that we're talking about. That's the greatest thing Nintendo ever came up with. The fact that you can have a tablet device that is the controller, that you can have two screens and play games with, that works with their old game libraries and can work with new games that they create with two screens. Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it's brilliant. It was before its time.
Yes, the Wii U sucked, but also it was before its time, so it had nothing going right for it. But now in hindsight...
And I did a video on kind of how they could screw this up, the Switch 2. And a lot of it went back to all the bad things that happened with the Wii U and the way it was marketed and the way that the Wii U had all this weird shit that nobody cared about at the time. It did so many things. It was a TV remote. It just did too many things. It did a lot.
Too many
but
cooks?
Too many. But it was before its time. And the marketing was terrible. And if you think about it, like the idea, I mean, it's got a stigma around it now because of how bad it sold. And I mean, you know, publishers just gave up on it. Like third-party companies just gave up. They left. Nintendo gave up on it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Eventually, Nintendo gave up on it. So it leaves a bad taste in your mouth when you think about the Wii U. But when you really like take all that away and look at this thing, it is a really good idea. And
thank you.
It is the home console version of what they've done so successfully with their handhelds, with the dual screen, with the DS, with the 3DS. Those clearly worked. People like those.
I'll let you keep going. Let me just add that, again, like I said, it adds functionality for their old library games that they can. It opens up an avenue that they never had access to before.
Right.
Because
that's where I'm going.
There's 20 years of games that are dual screened that will never be played again. And now it's fine. It's fine if that's a Virtual Boy, right? Because those games.
Okay.
How many games the Virtual Boy had? Whatever. It's fine that nobody plays those games ever again. No offense. The Virtual Boy lovers out there, all 5 of you.
Dude, the Virtual Boy's coming to Switch Online. Shut up. Get out of here.
But for those, it's gonna be awesome. There's like 20 years of DS, all the DS consoles. There's so many of them. The
3DS.
That's it. I'm drawing a blank. That's all the
DS, 3DS. Games. But
and Wii U games that specifically can't be played properly without massive reconstruction, whatever. If the Switch 2, that's probably still what its name's going to be. Switch 2 has a functionality where you can connect a second screen, which ends up being your old Switch tablet, your current one even. And it connects to the dock of the new system.
I don't think the old one's going to work. I think it's going to have to be the new one. The
semantics, I don't want people to get held up, especially you, on
well, don't say that, because that's not going to work.
Why wouldn't it?
Because it doesn't have the stuff in it to do it. This new one, that's going to be the way they sell it.
It's software.
Okay, but I'm telling you.
Whatever.
If this is real.
Whatever. I'll concede. If the Switch 2 has the capability of where you take the brand new tablet, right? Your Switch 2 tablet, you're holding that in your hands, and the Switch 2's dock has more tech in it that allows you to wirelessly connect between your Switch tablet and the Switch 2's dock. So that means your dock connects to the TV, and your screen in your hands operates as a controller and a screen, and now you're playing retro 3DS games on your Switch 2 on your TV. And you're playing remastered versions of like Nintendogs or whatever game you want to play from the DS era. You're getting remastered versions of those games on the Switch 2, and you've never I was gonna say better yet, but not better yet. It doesn't matter. Side grade opens up Nintendo Switch Online capabilities for DS, 2DS, 3DS, all those games. The point is, you open up so many possibilities for more games if you have a system that can have dual screen capability, whether that's the old library games or the new games.
Well, you've got I mean, okay, we're running out of systems to put on Nintendo Switch Online. GameCube is probably next, obviously. But yeah, if you do have that dual screen and I know you're saying don't get hung up on it, but I do want to just want to talk about it. It will be the new Switch 2 that only does that. The old one will not let that happen for this reason. This is going to be that thing. If this is real, this is going to be that thing. This is why you buy a Switch 2. Not only is it more powerful,
say the marketing.
But this is the new way to switch. This is the new way to switch. This is what separates the old Switch. You've got tabletop, whatever, handheld, docked. Now you've got dual screen. It gives it that extra way to switch, keeps in line with the naming. It's perfect. It's perfect. And clearly, we have seen already, Nintendo can do this. They've done it. They've done it. They did it with the Wii U with no problem. And I gotta say, with the Wii U, it worked very, very well. Very well.
Yep.
Until you
I was gonna say there's a big if on that.
Okay, yeah.
Not even left the room. Like if I'm playing,
if you went
here at my
10 feet,
desk, and I walked about 20 feet over to the entrance of the room, it runs out.
Yeah, but I mean it's perfect marketing. It fixes every single problem. It fixes every single problem they could potentially have with a Switch 2 and people being confused what the difference is. It's very easy to see what that is. You're not seeing that with the first one at all. It can't do that.
I want to be clear that I want to take most of the credit for this idea because it was my idea. However, I do also want to give you partial credit because that marketing is the reason why they would do it.
Yeah, because it fixes every problem they had with the Wii U. The Wii to the Wii U had the problem of nobody knew what the fuck it was. Nobody understood it because the marketing was terrible and they didn't show it properly. But this gives a Switch 2 the new way to switch. My God, they could use that as the fucking slogan. A new way to switch.
Dude, that is like the commercials.
Yeah.
That is the
it would be perfect.
The online and TV commercials. A new way to switch. Because we've talked about this in the entire year, if not last year as well. Definitely last year as well.
The Connect. Oh my God! What if it's called this, like the Switch Connect? What if it's called the Switch Connect?
Was that the leak from earlier in the year?
No, it was the Switch Attach.
I was going to say because that would be crazy.
No, what if it's called like the Switch Connect or something like that? And that's why it has the button with the C. Even more marketing right there. Even more marketing and very easy to show. Hit the C button, the Connect button to connect instantly to your TV and use dual screens. Like very, very easy to market.
I kind of forgot my reasoning, what I was going to say here. But yeah, I mean, if the Switch 2 has this capability of connecting to the TV and your tablet in your hands to play dual screen gaming.
It opens up so many opportunities for like just all the stuff that the Wii U promised and didn't deliver on.
Yeah.
The Switch can actually do it. The Switch 2 can do it because it's going to actually have the user base to do it.
And maybe what if it's
fun? That's fun. That just sounds like fun.
Weird theory
remember
here.
Those first couple Wii U ads? All the fun stuff.
It'll be called the Switcheroo.
The Switcheroo.
Love it. Power Man. Love that name. That's better than the Super Switch. The Switcheroo. I love it. Yeah, I mean, man. It doesn't. I gotta be honest. I'm not like excited for the possibility of new games with dual screens. At this point, I just want to be right. That I was right.
Well, and that's the thing.
But because here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Because the Wii U, so many games didn't implement the dual screen functionality at all. Even first party games didn't implement it. But even if they did implement it, the ones that did. It was just like, oh, your minus button map. The map, when you press the minus button, there it is.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
That's not great. If they're going to do dual screen, they need to perfect it, and they need to make it great.
But see, that's the thing. I disagree a little bit, because I think that if they do this, it can just be that other way to play. They don't have to push it really hard. But if a game developer wants to use it, they can. but it's not necessary, and it doesn't make it harder to develop for this over, whatever. Like if you want to add your menu to that screen, easy. No, nothing else, and the game is the same every other way. Cool. If you want to make a game that does it, cool. Nintendo can make their own games that use it, and they can use it for their online stuff when they add DS, 3DS, and Wii U games. I mean, think about it. Any Wii U games that are not on the Switch yet, I know of 2 of them that I really want, can basically be ported over just at 60 frames per second in 4K. And
I have a Christmas gift for you right now. You're no longer banished from saying Wind Waker Twilight Princess for the rest of the year.
Wind Waker and Twilight Princess are coming to the Switch too! Year 1! It's fucking happening!
It's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everybody sucks.
And now the whole video is demonetized. Not that we ever monetize anyway.
Worth it.
Yeah, worth it.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel so free
Perfect
now.
timing that we're ending the show now too, and there's no more streams the rest of the year. But it was over in a couple weeks anyway.
Whatever, I got to say it. Next year it's happening. Year 1. Year 1.
You didn't get to say it, and you didn't get in trouble too. It's your Christmas gift from me to you.
But I mean, I do love the idea of that being a cast button or connect, whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
The new way to switch. I think it's perfect. And I mean, what else are they going to do? They've already got the technology.
Oh, that's
clearly.
right. I was going to say this. Nintendo has a history of doing crazy features. The 3D,
They do.
The dual screen. It was one of those crazy things that they did.
Yeah.
For a handheld. 3D was a crazy thing. The Wii, its very existence was a crazy thing. They've always done something crazy. They've always done something that isolates a specific market.
Yes.
And like mainly the big gamer, the gamers who like are gamers. They're like, I don't want to waggle. I don't care about 3D on a low-res screen. They're playing Xbox games. They're playing COD. That's that market. And like Nintendo's always been missing out in those markets. Nintendo has an opportunity to hit both markets. And by both, I mean all markets. They're going to hit the family with motion control, perfected all these years later. Most controls will be perfected. They're going to release their Wii bowlings again. They're going to do stuff like that. They already have on the Switch, but they're going to perfect on the Switch too. That market's covered. Families are covered. I should say nursing homes are covered. Families are covered by like games like Mario and those cutesy games, and they got that market down. They're going to keep releasing games like that forever. Never going to stop that.
Right.
So families and nursing homes are covered. They're gonna the regular folk home.
Yeah,
They're entering that. They're those people as well. They've been there, but now the people who want crazy gimmicks, they're in their home as well now because they got the new way to switch 2 screens. I'm interested. It's the enthusiasts. Let's get in there, and they're gonna be in it for the gamers now because the thing's gonna run. Last gen's games.
Yes, that's the thing.
Finally,
That's the thing. It lets Nintendo still do what they do. It lets Nintendo. They get to do a wacky thing, but they also get to keep the thing that's made them so successful for the last 8 years. They get to keep it, and they get to make it more powerful. They get to give people exactly what they want, but they also get to keep Nintendoing. So they get to do the weird, wacky thing. It's just a new way to switch. It's fucking perfect. It's perfect. I hope it's true.
It is perfect. I really do hope. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. I really do hope that they do that, and I hope that the name of the thing is not Switch 2, just like our fanatic guy just posted in the chat here. I do hope it's the Super Switch. Hashtag
Super Switch. Yeah.
Hashtag Super Switch Squad. Let's make it happen, guys.
Super Switch,
Come on.
please.
No Switch. The Switch 2 would be fine. It wouldn't be bad. Like Switch Attach, but it'd be boring. Let's do
Nintendo's
Super Switch.
never done a numerical upgrade. Like they've never done it. I mean, we don't know what they're going to do. I keep saying that too. We don't know what they're going to do. The people in charge now are different than any other time anybody's been in charge of doing anything with a Nintendo product. So, I mean, we have no idea how they're going to market this thing.
Oh, yeah, Fanatic got, that was a joke. We were joking. It's not obviously not going to be called the Switch U. That would be a massive mess up from Nintendo.
The
because
Switch U?
the market
Oh my
that
God.
would be business suicide because the marketing was so bad with Switch with the Wii U. They would never do that again. We only did that.
They're never
we
gonna
only
attach
put that title
anything to that.
We only put that title or put that in the title or the thumbnail because we wanted to trick you to click on the video. It's called clickbait. It's very common in the industry. I'm sorry
Oh my God.
to trick you.
Stop.
I'm just.
It
I'm
worked.
kidding.
It worked.
I'm kidding.
It worked.
It was.
It worked.
It was a joke.
Welcome in.
It's not clickbait. It's supposed to make you laugh. I made you. Ha ha! You called the Switch U. It's funny. Yeah, I'm a jokester. You should subscribe to get more jokester.
They know.
Jeeb.
They know. See, they know.
And more
Certainly worked in
boring
my
drip.
case. See? Welcome in.
Welcome. Make sure, guys, if you're new here, to subscribe as well, please. We're
Super Saiyan Switch,
We're trying to
too.
get to 1,000 subs before the end of the year, which is likely not going to happen, but maybe there's some crazy chance it might. Who knows? That would be great if we could do that, though. That'd be wonderful. It's been our goal for the entire year. We're so close to make it, so please help us out with that to help see if we can do it. This is our last stream of the year, so don't expect a stream next week because there won't be. But do expect more content. There will be videos to be posting on the channel, so make sure to hop in the hop on the channel to watch the videos we're releasing. We're going to release a video that we made during the Game Awards last week, and maybe one other thing. We're going to try to get another episode up for you guys, like a pre-recorded one for you for the last episode of the year. I told you that last week. It's on camera.
Yeah, I forgot.
I know. We're going to try. That's why I said we're going to try.
We're going to do it. It's going to happen. It's going to be great.
We're going to try to get you guys that extra episode, but at least there's that extra bonus episode coming next week as well. If we're not going to see you guys for the rest of the year. I mean, if you watch Drip's YouTube channel, you'll probably see him. If you watch PlayStation Corner, or if you, I don't know if I stream again, you'll probably see me as well. But we're not going to see you on this channel for the rest of the year. So we just want to wish you guys, again, very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, because we're not going to see you. So we love you guys. We appreciate you guys for being here. This is the end, also the end of season 4, because we do
It
this.
is.
We did it. We do the
4
seasons.
seasons in.
We do the seasons in the year. So that once the year's over, the season's over. Next year, season 5, baby.
Oh my
Season
God,
4,
season 5 is going to be absolutely bananas. I think I said that about season 4 too.
Season 4 was great. Season 4 was one of the best years we've had, if not the best year that we had in terms of everything. Happiness, sadness, information, lack of information.
We had the best sadness. We had just the best sadness.
Numerical numbers on paper were good too. And yeah, guys, it's been a great year. And we're super excited to move on to 2025. And it's going to be the year. Because we said it last year.
Stop it.
And we said it the year before. And we've saying it every year, but we know. We know. We know. We thought we knew before. We didn't. But now we know that 2025 is the year to switch to. It's coming.
Do we?
We do. Don't believe the January dates. You laugh with us on Twitter, at Drip Geeb on Twitter. We're going to be laughing about the fact that there is no Switch 2 in January, and we'll make fun of people who think that there is. And when there is,
obviously,
and when there is a Switch 2,
on Valentine's Day,
and when there is a Switch 2 in January, no one's going to find this clip. Don't watch the show anyway. So we're going to see you guys next year. No after show. So we're just going to fade away into existence.
Goodbye, everybody.
We love you guys.
Merry Christmas.
I'm going to do a victory lap.
Switch 2, Christmas Day. Can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
I can't do a victory lap. I can't do one because Miss Jeeb's on the floor. She's making something. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Happy Hanukkah. Kwanzaa. Whatever. Bye.
Bye.